it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new British Museum times Zeesea, and this is part of their Alice in Wonderland collection. This is the third one in the series. This is Alice and the Flamingo. So if you look at it, it has like Alice with the flamingo, what was it, a croquet mallet, and then they have another little flamingo to the side. It is more of that snow globe effect, so it's got the glitter trapped in there, which I absolutely love. Now, I have the other two palettes in this series. I wasn't a fan of either one of them because whenever I go for bright colors, I prefer more pigmentation. But this color story, I don't think you need that. So, this palette retails for $35 US. You can order it directly from Zeesea or you can order it from Amazon. I ordered this one from Amazon. So I'm gonna think that these two in shades are more blush shades, and then there's 8 eyeshadows. But I think you can use them either or. So we're gonna start by swatching. So the first shade is the Alice shade. That's a beautiful nude color. Then we have like a white shimmer. And these shimmers have more of that wet feeling. And they do have some sparkle. Now, I will say that I do like that this palette, part of the reason why I did go ahead and decide to buy this is this palette doesn't have any pressed glitters, which pressed glitters don't bother me. So that's the first, like if you ignore that, that's the top row. So that's all sparkly, shimmery goodness. But their pressed glitter formula was not my favorite, so we're gonna swatch the Flamingo shade. So as you can see, like the Alice side is more peach and the Flamingo side is definitely more pink. Then we've got a nude matte, another gold shimmer, more of a brownie matte. Let's swatch those. And I think that this will create like a soft, more ethereal look. And then there's more of like this plummy, well, not really plummy. It's almost like a little bit more of a maroon shimmer, but with some copper to it. So I'm excited to get this on my eyeballs. Let's show those up close so you can take and see. I really like these. At least the way that they look now. But that's the thing about it, is even if whenever you try a brand, you may not like one thing from the brand, but that doesn't mean you won't like anything from the brand. And that's all part of it. And learning what works and what doesn't work for you is also important. So I'm trying to make sure my eye tapes are lined up. I think that's pretty good. So what I'm going to start with is the Spade shade right there. There's no names for this, and I did throw away the box because I wouldn't be able to tell you any of the information off of it anyway, because if you look at the back of the packaging, most of the information is in Chinese. It does say that this is 13 grams and it says we're all mad here. So let's start by applying that. And I did prime my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I've had that for a while, so I need to get some use out of it because I just need to use that makeup. And I have backups of eyeshadow primer, and I'm like, I need to use up some of the ones that have been open, especially something like the MAC Paint Pot that is an open jar. I need to use it because it can get dirty. So you see, that's just like a little effervescent wash of color. It's very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. There we go. That looks nice. Okay, so I think I want to try to deepen this up. This is a Refer number 16. Oh, I didn't even tell you what brush that was. That was a ColourPop E15, so it's just a big blender. So I'm gonna go in, this is the Refer number 16, which is still a big blender, and we're gonna go in to that nude brown, just to kind of deepen up on the outside. Now there is a lot of kick up, which people say I'm too rough with eyeshadows, but I mean, I haven't ever hit pan from kick up. And to me, a lot of times when there is a lot of kick up, that gives you better blendability. Now, there's really not a whole lot of mattes to this palette. There's only 2. So we're gonna use those 2 and then kind of be done with mattes. That looks pretty though. So I'm gonna just take that same ColourPop brush just to kind of go over, make sure everything's nice and blended. I want this to be a very soft look. Like, to me, that's what this palette is screaming for. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what it needs. So next up, I'm gonna grab like a flat shader brush, and I'm gonna go into the diamond shade, which is like that burgundy with some copper undertones. We're gonna pick that up with that brush. I'm gonna grab some setting spray because I feel like a lot of the other colors that are in here that I wanna use are more of a less of a topper shade. So I figure that I need to apply something down so it has some color to stick to. Plus, it's a really pretty color. And even just leaving it like that, you see, that makes like a really pretty monochromatic look. So I'm just going to apply it all over the lid. Now, I don't like the quality of their brushes, but again, that's my personal opinion. They're not my favorite, but it is what it is. I'm definitely having a much easier time with this one. So now I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is like my favorite shade in the entire palette. I'm gonna see if it'll pick up with the brush. If not, I will go in with my finger. So I think it's picking up with the brush. And apply that over the top because I want some more sparkle. Okay, it's not really picking up with the brush. That's better. But see what I mean? Those tones go well together, and then you're getting more sparkle from the top shade. So I'm really liking this so far. But there we go. That's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take my ColourPop brush one more time. I always like to do this to make sure like the shimmers are pretty well stuck to the lid. So that's how we look so far. So I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and do blush. I'll probably use a shade as a highlight, and we will talk about my thoughts on this palette. I'm back and I have pretty much the rest of my face on. So I'm gonna use I think I'm gonna use the more pinky side as blush. So I'm just picking up a little. This is a Refer number 18. And we're gonna apply more towards the back of my face, but I am gonna like swirl it in. That works beautifully as a blush, just to let you know. That is a beautiful blush shade. I love blush though. Look how pretty that is. I like that a whole lot. Very, very pretty, very pretty. Okay, next I'm gonna take, this is a Refer number 19, and I'm gonna go into, no, I need something smaller to highlight with, because that will definitely be too big for impact. Let's see. I have like way too many brushes. but then it's like, can you ever actually have too many brushes? So never mind, I'm gonna go into the Morphe M150, and this gold shade that's right here, we're gonna go into. Oh, that's pretty. And that is something that I like to do, especially because it gives you a chance to try out more shades from an eyeshadow palette. Is if there is a color that'll work as a highlight, I try to use it. And this palette actually has quite a few that will work as highlights because they're a little bit gentler, I guess. Because there's not a lot of base pigment, but they are pretty. Look how pretty that looks. Okay, and I did tightline with some black because I wanted to, I don't know, I felt like even though I wanted to keep this kind of soft and ethereal, I wanted to add a little bit of dark dimension to it. So let's test out their little brush. So I'm gonna go in to that pink shade, the Spade, with more of the blendy brush side of their brush, I guess is the best way to say it. And we're just gonna blend that out. So as you can see, it's nothing major, but it does look really pretty. Now I know that this isn't a normal Betsy look, but it's a beautiful, beautiful look nonetheless. So now I need to grab something to apply inner corner highlight. So this is a Rephr number 3. We're gonna go in to the white shade, that first shade, and we'll probably spray it because I think that'll work the best. And apply that to the inner corner. Okay, so see, that is a pretty color, but I don't feel like there's enough pigment. So I'm gonna go to the next shade, which is more of that peachy pink color right here. And we're gonna apply that, and then I'll apply some of that white shade. Oh yeah, see how much more dramatic that is? I love a good inner corner highlight. It's one of my favorite things about makeup, honestly, because it can change your whole look and make you look fresh and awake when you didn't before. I think we have UPS here. So now I'm gonna go back into that white shade, same brush, because the white is just a tad bit more sparkly, and apply that over the top so I get some of that sparkle effect. And I'm gonna take whatever's left over on my brush and use it to highlight the brow bone. So let's spray some. This is MAC Fix Plus. This is the hydrating one with vitamin C. Let that dry. Apply a little bit of mascara to the bottom lashes. And then this look will be finished. I love a good, like, almost, this isn't really super dramatic, but I love a good dramatic eye. But there is something about this style that is super duper soft and pretty. So this is the completed look. What do you think? There's no creasing this time. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I used most of the shades in the palette. So I used everything except for this one. And I think that this palette is the best by far out of all three of them. I think that the color story for this is the most cohesive. For people who like neutrals, this has a lot of good neutrals in it. I think it looks super pretty on the skin. So what do you think? I will leave it linked down in the description box. It is not an affiliate link or anything like that. But I guess that's it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos. But I guess that's it. We'll see y'all later. Bye.